And welcome to another edition of Cine Tutorials. My name is Derek, and today we are going to talk about closed captioning. It's required by most television stations, and it allows for people to read the text with no audio or for the hearing impaired, and it's activated by a button on your remote control. It's also known as subtitles, which you can make these closed captions subtitles, and that means they would display on the screen the entire time without being activated by a button. But today I'm going to show you the way to do it. Well, both ways, but my final output is going to be done with the button. So you can create your own subtitles in Premiere by going File, New, Captions, and you can type your captions out, and it's very tedious work, and I wouldn't do it because you can pay a company $1 per finished minute to do your captions. And I used a company called Rev, and you can see my total length of my program was 27 minutes, and the total cost of this was $27. A good file format to use when doing this is the .scc format. It's one of 4 formats that works on Premiere, but basically when you use a service like Rev, you can request all the file types you want, and they'll send you all of them at no extra charge. So I got the .scc file. Now, real quickly, well, first I'm going to show you how to import that file. So basically you just import the files as you normally would. So File, Import, and you're going to see, well, wherever you put your files, you're going to see that I've got my .scc here, and I actually exported this video already to send to them to get it done. So I'm just going to re-import, and you can re-import a nice high-res file. This is an H.264 just to show you. So you import the SCC and your other video, and you can also do this right off of your editing timeline. You don't need to re-import a video. If you've already got an editing timeline, you can just import your SCC to there. Then you don't have to double compress it. Okay. So once you've imported your file, we will just drag down our video file. And once again, if you already have an edit down here, just leave your edit as is and take your .scc file and drag that onto its own video track. Okay? And sync it up. Should sync up perfectly with your video. If you need to make any edits to it, you can double click, and as you can see in this captions edit window, you've got the text. You can modify that. You've got the in and the out point of that particular subtitle. You can do this all down the line. Mine happened to be perfect, so I don't want to make any changes. Now, if you can't see the text over here in your program window, then you'll want to click on this little wrench in the bottom right of your program window, and that's your settings. Go down to Closed Caption Display and make sure that it's enabled. If it's not enabled, you're not going to see it. See? It went away. Closed Caption, Enable. There they are. And one more thing there is I can show you there are some settings. My settings are at the standard CEA 608, closed caption 1. If for some reason your captions aren't coming up, you may want to try and see if you've got something else going on. And for those of you in Australia, I don't know what that's about, but maybe you do. Okay, so once we've got all this set how we want it, then it's just time to export. So I'm just going to go File, Export Media. And as you can see, I've already got this format set. MXF, a .mxf file is what is going to put all of this together. If we were to go to a QuickTime, you could do that as well. But for me, my network wants MXF file, so that's the MXF OP1A. The most important part here is captions. Here you can see effects, videos, audio, captions. If this says none, you're not getting captions. So you need to make sure to go embed into output file. Now embed means that it's going to put it in there within the file, but it's not going to display the captions unless somebody turns the captions on, like on their television remote. So that's how television wants it. If you want them to be like subtitles and on the screen all the time, go to burn captions into video. But that's not what I'm doing today. Embedding into the file. So once you've got everything how you want it, you've got your format, you've got your video, and make sure to embed these captions into that file. You're going to be good to go. So you just hit export and send it on its way. Now, for me, I've already exported it, so I don't need to export. But I do want to show you one more thing. When it's finished exporting, you want to make sure that it did it correctly. So you can import your MXF file into your project just to test. File import, and you go find where you put the file, and it's going to say .mxf for me. Import that closed caption file, whichever format you decided. And when you drag it onto the timeline, it's not going to look like a standard video file. It's going to have 2 video tracks and an audio track. The second video track, like it was in your project, is going to be that closed caption file. So if you've done everything correctly, it will import and you can check it. Now the reason why it's not embedded when I put it back in Premiere is because it's showing you that it's a closed caption file. But rest assured, it will be embedded in the file and not displayed until you play it through a player that you can display closed captioning. VLC player you can do it with. You could also burn it onto a DVD and hit closed captioning. You could do a lot of different things with it. Me, I'm going to send it to PBS. So if anybody has any questions, feel free to write them in the caption box below, and I'll try to get to those as quickly as possible. It's a workflow that a friend of mine, spent a bit of time on, because you can obviously get kind of there are several steps here, and you can get kind of mixed up. It could be as simple as just not turning on your closed captions. So like I say, if you have any more questions, please feel free to ask. But this is a pretty foolproof way of getting accurate closed captioning into your video. Thanks again for watching Cine Tutorials. Have a good day.